Colin, we got to start at the very beginning. RPAC. Realtors hear about it. What is it and why does it matter?
Well, Scott, the REALTOR Political Action Committee is a fundamental part of the realtor community in our business. What it is a mechanism by which we invest in candidates at the local, the state, and the national level that are friendly to our issues. What that means is when we send our legislative people in to talk, our government affairs directors, our realtor members that are engaged to talk to these politicians, these legislators, we have their ear. We've helped them in their campaigns. Now we're looking for some help back from them when it comes to our issues legislatively for ourselves and for our clients.
It may seem kind of like an obscure thing to a lot of realtors, agents who are working in the trenches, as it were, but can you give some real-world examples of how their work and the work with our clients has benefited from the efforts, from the donations from RPAC?
Well, the real key about RPAC is that a lot of the work that gets done, we don't get to see, feel, or know. And that's probably one of the toughest parts about RPAC, because the work that gets done is so important. It's so fundamental to our business that we absolutely need it. So if you think back to 2012, and we introduced a bill, Measure 79, that permanently eliminated transfer taxes from occurring in the state of Oregon. That was a constitutional change that benefited our clients, that benefited the state. If you look at other states where they don't have such a constitutional ban, the average transfer tax is over 2%.
Wow.
That would mean that every single buyer and seller has a more expensive process in buying and selling homes, which would have a big impact in our market. That's one direct success we had right here in Oregon. There are other elements. A lot of times consumer groups will come, they want to mess with the seller's property disclosure statement, which is a very solid document that protects consumers. One of the other pieces that they did a couple of years ago was they wanted a point of sale energy audit on every home that was sold. You would have to go in, hire an energy audit company to find out the energy efficiency of the home on every single transaction. We were able to point out that this is cumbersome. It doesn't really prove a point. It doesn't help. It makes, again, it more expensive for this process. So whilst we may not see, feel, and know these, if those weren't successes by realtors, we would absolutely feel the impact in the field.
All right, that kind of raises the question, right? It highlights the issue that realtors may not like politics, so they don't want to get involved in a political action committee, but those are good examples of things that are affecting our business, whether you like it or not. So a good reason to make an investment into the RPAC. For people who haven't done it, what is the process? I mean, it's not particularly complicated, yet not many realtors do it.
You know, and again, I think most people don't do it because they don't understand the impact that it actually makes to their business. So if you think about whenever you make your business plan for next year, you look at how much you're going to advertise, how much you're going to market, where that's going to be. You figure out when you need to change the oil in your car. That doesn't make you an advertising expert. It doesn't make you an oil change expert. I don't want to do any of those things. But I understand them all to be fundamental to my business. And when you get RPAC and you understand what it does, I think that there's very few realtors that haven't said, you know what, that's a worthwhile investment and I need to do it every year, year in, year out, because I care about my business, I care about my clients, and ultimately it's success. It's a win-win for clients and realtors alike.
So if RPAC did not exist, what do you think the landscape would look like in real estate?
Great question. You don't realize you'd miss it until it's gone. And really that's a big key to this. Can you imagine, I've been at realtor meetings right here in the Rogue Valley at MLS where issues were brought forward and people were concerned and there was almost a rally cry, wow, they can't do this. And I was able to remind them that you actually have committees and RPAC that's able to make this effective already in place. If that wasn't there, we would have to go on an individual basis and try and fight this. It would just be you and me and a group of a couple of other realtors. Right. In Oregon, we've got the voice of 14,000 realtors at the legislature. At the national level, we have over 1.1 million realtors. That speaks volumes to the legislatures, and we have a huge impact with our voices. But remember, those voices are heard more clearly because of the RPAC investment made in the candidates to which we're trying to talk to in those rooms. Those doors stay open because of those RPAC investments.
So the RPAC investment is actually hiring professionals who are representing realtors' best interests and our clients' best interest.
Actually, a little different than that, and that's a good question. Your dues dollars pay for the professional part of it. That's part of the services that we provide as associations, both locally, at the state, and at the national level. The people that work there are actually paid by your dues dollars. They do the boots on the ground work.
Okay.
The access point for them comes from the RPAC investment. 100% of all RPAC money goes towards candidate expenditures in campaigns. And so if you are a candidate that are friendly to realtor issues and we're giving you monies to be able to make that a more successful campaign, we have your ear when you get elected.
Nice. It does make a difference then. What about the NAR on the national level? There's something of a requirement that we have a level of participation. How does that work? Why is it an issue or important?
Well, we're an association. And an association is a group of professionals with one single interest in mind, or several interests in mind that benefit not just our industry but also the community. And because our issues are so centric to legislators' constituents, we do have their ear. We're not out there saying healthcare for all or great for fracking or do something with guns. We're
Yeah.
out there talking about issues that these politicians, these legislators really relate to. So these are great issues, and the RPAC investment, again, keeps the door open. We can't compete with some of the larger industries that are out there, but we're one of the most effective associations because of the issues that we talk about and because we do invest. Even though it may not be as much money as some of the larger companies, we can never compete like that. But the RPAC investment on an individual basis, joined together with 1.1 other million realtors around the country, makes a huge difference.
All right. So how do people become involved? How do they make this investment? How do we do this call to action? We want folks to make that investment. It is important. There are results. So what do we do?
So the best way to do it is when you get your dues bill, there's a portion of that that automatically is included in the bill. You can opt out of it if you wish to, but we're encouraging you not to because of the importance of this. That starts at just $50. That $50, if every single realtor in the state and the nation made it, would make a huge impact. People that get it invest a lot more. This year I stepped into President's Circle, so I invested $3,000 of my own money because I believe that much in it.
Wow.
And I genuinely mean that. There's not a business write-off. That is not a write-off that I can make, but I've seen the impact. I understand it, and I absolutely believe in it. And all we're asking members to do is to look at that $50 and allow us to go to work for you and get the tough stuff done. So even if you don't like politics, those of us that do and that are involved in it, we will do a good job with your money, and we will make sure it makes a big difference in your business.
Cool. Any final words? Last thoughts?
I think it's possibly one of the best investments that you will make, and that you won't regret it. You may not see all the results directly like you do with advertising and marketing and oil changes and the rest of the things that we mentioned, but your business will be grateful and you can feel really good about it. One final piece. In the state of Oregon, each individual that invests $50 in a PAC gets every penny of it back. Now, I hate to give that as a reason. I think that everything we talked about prior
Right.
should be sufficient to make the investment.
Right.
But in Oregon, there's no excuse not to, for the simple reason that if you give $50 to a PAC or $100 per
As a
married
couple.
couple, you get all of it back. It's not just a write-off or a deductible. It's actually all of it back. There's $100 to you, and you get it all back. So there really is no reason not to.
Cool. Thank you, Colin.
Hi, I'm Colin Mullane, your 2015 Oregon Association of Realtors President. More importantly, I'm a Rogue Valley Realtor, and I work with each of you every day. I want to ask you to think seriously about investing in RPAC this year. I've seen firsthand the difference it makes in the Oregon legislature, right here in the Rogue Valley, and of course nationally. It's $50 every year that we ask for. We really need your commitment. I know your passion. I know you're serious about your business, and I'm asking you to invest in RPAC this year and every year. We need it, it's important, and I'm asking you for it. Thank you.